Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be my first video of 2016 and it is going to be my 2015 beauty favorites. These are the makeup products that I used and loved all year long, or for the majority of the year. These are the products that had the best formula, the best wear time, they sat the best on the skin, they blended out amazingly, they had good color selection, they had good color payoff. These are just my top favorite products out of everything that I tried in 2015. So if you guys are interested in seeing what I love this year, then please keep watching. Okay, so the first thing that I want to talk about are primers, and I did try a lot of primers this year, but these are the two primers that stood out the most. The first one that I want to talk about is the Marc Jacobs Coconut Water Primer. This is a pricey little number right here, but it is probably the best primer that I have used to hydrate and nourish my skin. I have very dry skin and a very oily T-zone, and this primer doesn't bother my T-zone area and make it any extra oily, but it does a great job of creating a nice base for my foundation by hydrating my skin so that when I put the foundation over top of it, it doesn't cling to any dry patches, because this has done a great job of moisturizing my skin. So I absolutely love this primer. It just makes my skin amazing. It's the perfect base for any foundation, especially matte foundations. The primer that I have been pairing with that one for my oily T-zone is the Makeup Forever Step 1 primer, and this is the mattifying one. I do also have the nourishing one, which I love as well, not as much as the Marc Jacobs, but this one is great at combating the oiliness that I have around my nose. It takes a lot longer for my nose to start breaking up the foundation when I am wearing this. A lot of other primers, even pore filling ones, just don't do the job as well as this one. I do only have the little sample size. I need to pick up the full one, but it is outstanding. So if you have an oily nose like I do, then definitely give this a try, because it does make the wear time on my foundations a lot longer. Okay, so I want to talk about foundations now, and I am going to be talking about 4 of them, because there were 2 foundations that I used the majority of the year, and then there were 2 that stole the show towards the end of 2015, so I decided to include all of them. So the one that I used from the very beginning of the year, I'm talking, I started wearing this in January of last year, is the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. And I wore this foundation pretty much every single day until it became not my color anymore, and it just doesn't match me. The undertone is weird, it just pulls weird colors on me now, and I need to get a new shade in this foundation. But I absolutely loved the way that this made my skin look, the way it made my skin feel. I liked the way that it wore. It was just an all-around amazing foundation, so I thought that I would mention it even though I didn't wear it towards the end of the year. Another absolutely outstanding one is the Maybelline Dream Liquid Mousse Foundation, and I swear by this foundation. I think that it is the best foundation at the drugstore, and it is very underrated. Another drugstore foundation that I did use a lot this year was the L'Oreal Pro Matte Foundation, but that one, if your skin was a little bit dry, it did act weird, and if you blended it with a brush, it was a little bit strange. I only could use it with a beauty blender, so that foundation isn't foolproof, unlike this one, which is absolutely foolproof. It has amazing coverage, it has a great color selection, it doesn't oxidize weird, it just has a beautiful, beautiful finish on the skin. It looks very natural. It's like a demi-matte finish. It's not dewy, it's not matte. It looks very natural, but if you set it with the matte powder, then it looks great, and it just wears amazingly, and it's so easy to blend, and I love this foundation. So if you're looking for a new foundation that is very affordable, definitely give this one a try. I can't recommend it enough. So towards the end of the year, I got absolutely hooked on the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. The formula of this foundation is incredible. It just has the most beautiful, beautiful finish on the skin. This foundation sits on your skin and it really just looks like your skin, but it has great coverage. It is a medium to full coverage foundation, but it really just looks like it is your skin. The only problem with this is that I hate the color selection. This one is the closest that I found to match my skin tone, but it still isn't close enough. I usually have to mix it with a lighter foundation to get the shade to match me properly, which is the only downside that I have had so far, but I love it. It doesn't settle into the smile lines on my face like a lot of my other foundations do. This one is just incredible. If you haven't given this one a try, I would recommend this one as well. Next, this is the last foundation that I purchased in 2015, and it is the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Foundation. Now, I really like this foundation, but it is not at all what I expected it to be. This foundation, in my opinion, is a very light to medium coverage, and people are saying that it is a medium to full coverage. When you put this foundation on your skin, it is initially very lightweight, and you do have to build up the coverage. If you want your skin to just erase any redness that you might have or any weird discoloration in a weird area. I'm not talking about hyperpigmentation or a lot of redness from pimples, let's say, but I'm talking if you have like flushed cheeks that you don't really like so much and your skin tone is a little bit uneven. This will perfect that, and your skin will still look like your skin. It won't look like you're wearing foundation at all. You can build up another layer and it'll have a little bit more coverage, but it still doesn't look like you're wearing foundation, which I think is incredible. I did find that normally when I use, let's say, my Born This Way foundation, I only have to use one pump and I'm set for my whole face, medium coverage, good to go. This one, you need like 3 or 4 to get a substantial amount of coverage on the skin, but I love that it has a very natural finish. It really looks like your skin. Like, I'm talking, you can touch your face and it won't rub away. It really looks like your skin. So this is the most natural looking foundation that I have found. I love it. And it just wasn't what I expected, because I thought that it was gonna be like a heavy duty foundation. I don't know why, but this is still nonetheless incredible. Also, one last thing, this is the only foundation that I found this year that was exactly 100% my skin color. Literally, you can't even differentiate from foundation to the rest of my body. And I am in the shade 127 Y335, just in case anyone is wondering. The next thing that I want to talk about are concealers, and the one that I loved the most this year was by Bobbi Brown, and this one is actually a corrector. This is in the shade Light Peach, and I used it, I don't know if you guys can see on camera, but I am completely, I don't know why my throat's messed up. I don't know if you guys can see on camera, but I have completely hit pan on this, and there's just a little bit around the edges, and I do need to pick up a new one. But I use this on days that I wasn't planning on wearing any intense makeup. I just put this underneath my eyes and around my laugh lines, just because I have a little bit of darkness around those areas. So this counteracts the darkness that's going on, brightens the face a little bit, and it looks like you're not wearing any makeup, you just don't have any dark bags under your eyes. So I absolutely love this product, and it is great if you have dark under eye circles. The next concealer that I absolutely loved this year was the Naked Skin Concealer by Urban Decay, and I have it in 2 shades. I have it in Light Warm and Light Medium Neutral. And I use this one right here, which is Light Warm, more to highlight the face, and the other one more to conceal. The only thing that I didn't like about these is that they are more of a liquid formula, which means that they are more wet. So if you blend them out too soon, then they can settle into the fine lines underneath your eyes. You kind of want to let them sit for a minute once you've put them down on your skin to get them tacky, so that when you start blending them out, they start drying and they don't settle into those fine lines, if you get what I'm saying. That is the only downside to these. Otherwise, they have really good coverage. They have a great staying power. I'm sure that everyone else is talking about them as well, so I won't stay here too long. But if you are looking for an amazing concealer, then you should definitely give this one a go. A way more affordable option is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind, and this is the Dark Circle Eraser, and I have mine in the shade Neutralizer. This is an incredible concealer. The only thing is that I feel like I go through it like water. I don't know what it is, but for the price, you really just can't beat it. I also think that the sponge applicator just gets a little bit gross, but the products in here is just, I can't even say enough good things about it. The cool thing about this concealer is that it is a little bit more of a dry formula, but it doesn't make your under eyes look dry and cakey and dehydrated. It doesn't do any of that. It doesn't settle into the fine lines under your eyes. The cool thing about it being a little bit drier is that you don't have to wait for it to get tacky before you blend it out. You can just go right away and blend it out, and it won't settle into any fine lines because it is too wet. It is just amazing. I love it, and it has a great staying power as well. Moving on to setting powder, obviously the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder has been my go-to powder all year. I use it to set my under eyes, I use it to set the rest of my face, I use it to bake, I use it to clean up different areas, I use it to set my lids before I go in with any eyeshadows. It's just a great universal all-around powder. It is so soft in texture, it is very finely milled, it doesn't sit on your skin and make your skin look cakey. It just does an amazing job at just setting your face. Your foundation doesn't move, your concealer doesn't move. If you have not tried this, you are missing out because this is my all-time favorite powder. It just is a miracle worker. Next, I quickly want to talk about brows, and the two products that I used all year long are both by Anastasia Beverly Hills, and I use the Brow Wiz in dark brown and the Dip Brow Pomade in dark brown as well, and these are the two products that I fill in my eyebrows with every single day. I absolutely love my Brow Wiz. This is my fourth or fifth one. It just does an amazing job at filling in your brows and making them look either really dramatic or really natural. It just depends on how much of it you use, the pressure that you use, and how much you blend out the product. And the Dip Brow Pomade, yes, it can go overboard really quickly. You do have to learn how to kind of manipulate the product a little bit. I found that if I take a little bit out of the pomade with my brush and then I kind of put it on the back of the lid, warm it up, and take off most of the product, then that's the way that I get the most natural looking brow with this, and it doesn't go overboard because I don't want to keep on dipping in this because then you're taking way too much product. So I like to kind of rub off the extra in here and then I am good to go. The only downside of this also is that the product does dry out pretty easily. So what I like to do is I kind of use product from one area of the pot and I don't break into the whole first layer of the product. I kind of like dig into it like this, if you guys get what I'm saying. I don't go straight into it. So you can see this whole side of the product still has not been touched, and that area right there is still nice and it's not dried out. My favorite bronzer of all time that I have ever used in my entire life is the Makeup Forever Pro Bronze Fusion, and I have it in the shade 30M and 25I, I believe. And these are just the most incredible powders ever. They are not so powdery that when you swirl your brush around in it, you're gonna get a bunch of fallout everywhere. They are very similar in texture to, I wanna say the ColourPop eyeshadows, but if you push your finger in, it's not gonna make a dent like those, but it's very similar to a cream, but it's still a powder. So it's very smooth, it's very creamy, but it's not a cream. I can't explain it. If you guys want to know what I'm talking about, then go swatch it in person. But these are incredible. They're so easy to blend and the color selection is amazing. It's very hard to go overboard with this product, which I like because you can be pretty heavy-handed and it won't look muddy. Another bronzer that I have been using as a blush highlighter type of situation is MAC's Gold Deposit, and this is just absolutely stunning. I'm wearing all the products that I've spoken about on my face today, just in case you were curious. It just gives you the most beautiful bronze glow to the skin, and it is a little bit more orange in color, which I like. I think that it adds a lot of warmth to the skin. I don't know, that's just my personal thing, so if you guys aren't into that, then you probably won't like this, but it is just so glowy, and everywhere that you turn your head, your cheeks are just glowing, and I just love it. I love the way that it makes the cheeks look. It's just, I can't stop using it. My favorite highlighter this year is by Anastasia Beverly Hills, and this is in the shade Starlight. I also have So Hollywood, but this one I like a little bit better just because I like a white pearl highlight. I'm not as big a fan of a gold highlight. Also, because I use Gold Deposit by MAC, I kind of like to mix it in with a highlighter that is a little bit more on the pearl side, just to have a little bit of a different color going on. It is just so glowy. It's so pigmented that literally the highlight on this is, you are glowing. Like, you can see your highlight from so far away. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's definitely my most intense highlighter, and it is not as powdery as the Becca ones, which I like. This one is a lot more pressed. It doesn't have a lot of fallout when you go and put your brush in there. I can't get enough of this highlighter. I literally use it every single day. The other highlighter that I have not been able to stop using is by Bobbi Brown, and this came out during the holidays, and this is in the shade Pink Glow, and it is very similar to the Anastasia Starlight, but this one has a little bit more pink and more of like a rose gold color going on. There's a bunch of colors kind of swirled into each other into a little marble effect. It's just beautiful, and every single time that I'm wearing this, people ask me what highlighter I'm using. It's absolutely stunning. I don't even think that the camera is picking it up at all, but it's just the most gorgeous highlighter ever. I'm using it on top right here on top of my Gold Deposit by MAC today, and it's just, oh my god, it's such a great highlighter. Next, let's talk about mascaras. The two that I used non-stop all year was my L'Oreal Telescopic, which is a drugstore mascara. Absolutely love it. Use it every single day. Incredible. Can't say enough good things about it. And the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. This is a sample size, but I have gone through about 3 of the larger tubes and other samples as well. This is just the one that I have right now. These two together are amazing. These two separate are amazing. These are just my 2 go-to amazing, incredible mascaras. They don't flake off. They're long wearing. They keep the curl. They are my absolute favorites. Next, quickly, just want to say my favorite blush of the year is Milani Luminoso. I just felt like this blush complemented so many different eye looks. It's very neutral. It doesn't look too much. It gives you a beautiful glow without being too shimmery. It is just an all-around amazing blush. I think that it is a staple for every person's makeup collection. So if you don't own this, then go to the drugstore and pick one up because the color is just amazing, and I can't say enough good things about the formula. It is baked, which makes it even more incredible. So if you guys have not tried this yet and you have been on the fence about whether or not you should pick this up, I'm telling you, go pick this up. This blush is amazing. Okay, so let's quickly talk about lips. The 3 lipsticks that I wore the majority of this year are these 3 liquid lipsticks from ColourPop. Now, I have a hate-love relationship with these because they do tend to get a little bit dry the longer that you wear them, and I have very dry lips, so towards the end of the day I kind of end up biting off the liquid lipstick, but they have a great staying power. I don't have to worry about them being on my teeth throughout the day. I can eat with them, and the colors are just beautiful. The 3 that I have been using are, I think it's Tully, or is it Tulle? I'm not really sure. Beeper and Chili Chili. I am wearing Beeper on my lips today. These 3 colors have looked incredible with pretty much every single eyeshadow look that I have done this year. They just pair well with everything because they are pretty neutral, and I just love them. They are all a little bit more of a deeper color, but I do like dark lips, so these 3 have been amazing. They're also $6 a piece, so you really can't go wrong. Even if you do end up hating it, it was just $6. So if you're looking to try a liquid lipstick, definitely give these a go because I think that especially for the price, these are definitely worth it. Another liquid lipstick that I wore a lot this year was Dose of Colors Stone. Now, I absolutely love the color of this liquid lipstick, but the formula for me was a little bit sticky. I felt like it took a very, very long time to dry on my lips, and it kind of left that sticky feeling, whereas the ColourPop liquid lipsticks dry instantly, and they are matte. Like, you can go like this with your lips. There's absolutely no tackiness at all. It is just dry and it won't go anywhere. This one is, I don't know, it just stayed tacky, and I hate that feeling on the lips, but the color is just so beautiful that I couldn't stop wearing it. Everything about it is great. I just didn't like that it stayed tacky. My absolute favorite lip gloss formula of the year goes to Marc Jacobs, and these lip glosses are so smooth. I can't even explain them to you. They're so soft. When you put them on your lips, they're like, they're velvety, and they're not too sticky. They do have a little bit of a plumping feel to them, but not too much that they're uncomfortable. They have a very good wear time. They are just a beautiful, glossy lip gloss. A lot of the lip glosses that came out this year were literally just a glossy lipstick, which I wasn't really down for. I really do like just a classic lip gloss. This one still shows whatever color is in the tube on your lips, but it is super, super glossy, so I absolutely love these. They are pricey, but worth it. Okay, so last but not least, I want to talk about my 2 favorite palettes this year. The first one I want to talk about did not come out this year, but it is still my staple go 2 eyeshadow palette. This is the original Lorac Pro palette. You can see that it is very well loved. I have hit pan on 1, 2, 3, 4 shades in here, and I have made a pretty big dent in all the other colors as well. I just think that this palette is the best palette for anyone to start their makeup collection with. If you do not own an eyeshadow palette yet and you are looking to invest in your first eyeshadow palette, this one here does the job in every single category. You have a bunch of neutral matte shades, you have a bunch of neutral shimmery shades. Every single color in this palette complements one another. You can use this brown, and this brown, even this black to fill in your eyebrows depending on what shade your hair is. You can use these shimmery shades to highlight your cheekbones as well as using them as eyeshadows. You just have a lot of amazing things going on in this palette, and I do recommend it to everybody. The formula of these shadows are very forgiving, so if you accidentally put too much, they're very easy to blend out. They're very easy to wipe away, but they do have an amazing staying power once they are on your lids, and I just think that this palette is absolutely incredible and you cannot go wrong with it. The other palette that came out this year that I could not put down was the Tarte Tartelette palette, and they did come out with another one pretty recently, but this is the original. I love how every single shade in this palette is matte, and I like how all the shades in here are neutral. Some of them are cool, some of them are warm, but all of them together are amazing. They blend on top of each other very well. My Stila Mind palette, some of the colors were hard to blend out on top of each other, but these blend beautifully on top of each other. This is what I am wearing on my eyes today, and I just absolutely love this palette. If you are looking for an all matte neutral eyeshadow palette, then this one is amazing. The shadows are very creamy, they're very pigmented, they're very easy to blend. I don't have any complaints about this eyeshadow palette. They're not too powdery either, which is amazing. So if you have not picked up this palette yet, I definitely think that this one is worth the investment as well. Okay guys, that is it for my 2015 beauty favorites. Let me know in the comments below what some of your favorites were this year, because I would love to know. If you guys enjoyed this video, then please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.